Hello and welcome back to New Hampshire's #1 sports podcast, where one of the hosts once threw a weekend party while his parents were away, and the entire weekend played beer die with glasses from the China Hutch. It is the Never Wears podcast. I'm your host, Tom Brown, joined as always by my brother, Tim. Tim, did you think mom and dad weren't going to find out when four of the
We broke
glasses,
so many of those glasses.
those glasses, our entire lives were used for one day, and it was Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Well, 2 days, because then it was used for beer dye. Why were they so easily breakable? I blame the company.
Yeah, other people use like solo cups. You had like 14 people over, not one person could stop and get solo cups. Or you as the host.
I think there were more people than that.
Oh, yeah. Flex on it.
We also threw Ahmed through a table.
Uh, I thought it
That was a,
was Joe
that was a
Denio.
no, it was Ahmed.
No, the Denio you hung out with.
PJ. But no, it
PJ.
was Ahmed.
Oh,
Was it PJ?
it was
Who
PJ.
knows? It was a fun weekend and made the best pulled pork I've ever made in my life.
I thought the house was coming down when he threw whomever through that table. I was asleep on the first floor, and
Yeah.
that was
That
not
was
that
that
was
was
not
dumb.
smart.
Mom and dad didn't know a thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure. I'm sure it didn't smell like dip spit, weed, spilled beer, and dead Ahmed through that table.
Nope. Clean as a whistle.
Shouts to Ahmed. First mention, I think, on the podcast.
Um, that was a great weekend.
Anyways, Tim. So no real Patriots news unless you have something. We talked about Bill O'Brien last week. Oh, there was. Matt Patricia's just gone.
What is this Shriners East West thing?
Oh, you played in it. No, it's like the Senior Bowl thing. They do it every year. Belichick's just a football guy. Likes to grind tape.
But it is that same game.
Yeah, I think so. Like the senior,
I
whatever.
don't remember anybody famous coaching our team that was actually.
No, I was not talking about the Massachusetts East-West Shrine game.
That's what I'm. But interesting that no Patricia or Joe Judge.
Well, Judge, I thought Judge was still going to be around. Patricia is, see you later. He's exploring options. You know what your options should be? Go bag at Market Basket with your pencil. Write down when Frankie 1 year needs to take his lunch. With your sharpened pencil.
Yeah, I mean, good riddance. I don't have
Yeah,
any time
there's
for him
nothing to
anymore.
add. See you later. They seem to be moving on in good directions. The the things that were coming out. Did you see the Boston Herald article where they had a bunch of sources saying like it was an absolute shit show to the point where in offensive meetings, the players on offense would say, okay, cool. So if this is the look they give us, this is what we do. But what if they do this? And the coaches were like,
We didn't think about that.
yeah, okay. A good question, first of all. And then there was a report, I think in that same article, saying that Joe Judge just stopped being in the offensive meetings because Mac Jones was like, this guy's not helping.
I did. Did you see the thing where some of the times when the play was getting in late, it was because Patricia didn't know if Belichick was going to call the plays, so nobody was calling plays at certain points in games.
If anything, Tim, I feel slightly better about Mac Jones now.
He
Like
made the
him,
All-Star game in his rookie year.
Pro Bowl,
Pro Bowl.
but
It's all the fucking same.
Tim, Nick Huntley just made the Pro Bowl.
I
So
don't know who that person is.
that's the backup to Lamar Jackson on the Ravens.
Okay. I feel a little worse about my recent take.
But back to my point, you can't feel as terrible about Mac Jones' second year. Him screaming at the sideline was probably like, hey, we have 10 seconds, call a play.
One of you needs to pick a play.
One of the three, can you do it? So now they have a guy. He's going to come in, just going to call plays. He's going to have a sheet of them. What the hell were they looking at? Patricia and Joe Judge had sheets.
I bet both their sheets were different.
Maybe an Arby's menu.
Don't sleep on Arby's.
Tim, what was my number one fast food
It
chicken
was
tender?
Arby's. I'm just saying
Okay.
they got a
With
good
curly
roast beef.
fries and a root beer? Get out of here. You can't both take a sip at the same time, Tim.
I
People
forgot we're
watch
on
us now.
I forgot we're on YouTube.
Idiot. Okay. I sent out
All right, you go.
the rundown today, and
I looked at it.
you looked at it. But then, Tim, I instantly hit send. I checked my phone. Sean Payton gets hired by the Broncos, and D'Amico Ryans gets hired by the Texans.
Yeah, I saw that. What is Peyton getting? Or what are the Saints getting, I should say?
A first rounder and an early round pick, which they think will be a second.
I get. Do you think Nathaniel Hackett was that bad?
He just got hired to be the Jets offensive coordinator.
It's a bold strategy because they don't have a quarterback.
Well, I think the same reason that the Broncos hired him was Aaron Rodgers. They all wanted Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, huh? Then you're really the third team in the AFC East.
Yeah. Yeah. If he hits open guys, unless he goes in there and says, hey, I want to throw bombs just down the seam again. Can one of you just be what's his name? Devontae Adams.
Their offense will be good if he's the quarterback. And their defense is good.
Yeah. They still finished behind the Patriots.
That's because I don't even know a child was playing quarterback. Zach Wilson said, wasn't the offense moving pretty well when you were just throwing the ball out of bounds and scrambling out of bounds when you felt pressure? And he said, yeah, but sometimes you just got to throw the ball up. And then he threw 3 interceptions to the Patriots.
He missed 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. So
that's a terrible way to look at football.
But what if those are 3 touchdowns?
They were thrown directly to Patriots players.
Yeah.
One time, Devin McCourty was like confused.
He missed it, I think, didn't he?
He missed one of them, but he didn't miss this one.
He didn't miss 2 of them. He missed one of them. I think he had 2 picks. Could have had 3.
Oh, I thought he had 1 and missed 1, but
maybe.
Regardless.
So I think if Sean Payton can get through to Russell Wilson and be like, hey, listen, I'm not going to go through your business manager. I'm not going to have meetings with you in your tank. I just want to talk to you like a normal person here. Trust my offense. It will work. Which he thrived with a short quarterback.
Yep. Who had a normal personality.
True. Drew Brees is kind of like vanilla ice cream.
Yeah. Takes it in, does exactly what he's supposed to do. Doesn't do high knees all the way on an international flight.
Well, let's not act like we haven't done a karaoke down the aisle way going on a plane. You're always keeping warm.
I mean, if he gets through to him, yes, the Broncos will be good.
It'll be good enough to be behind the Chargers and the Broncos. All right, no, wait, they are the Broncos. The Chargers and the Chiefs.
They'll be the 3rd team in the AFC West. 4th team if Brady goes there to the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah, the Brady thing. did we touch on it? I can't remember. I
Yeah, I
just
think we did.
remember him talking in that post-game press conference and thinking like, "Man, your face looks weird."
That weird face.
And I
What?
was just bummed by it because, man, he brought so much joy and happiness into my life. And I'll always love him, but his face is weird. And I think he's gone a little loopy there.
It
But
was
you hope
bound
for
to
the
happen.
best.
I mean, you can't have 20 years of success like that.
Tim, people run businesses for 20 years.
Yeah, but they're not in the limelight, you know, whole life out there the whole time.
What about Leonardo DiCaprio?
You don't know that he's a normal person.
Yeah, I guess I don't. He cares about climate change so much that he takes a private jet to different uh
That's how
climate
you know
change
he cares.
events
Yeah.
because he wants to go there as fast as possible.
Have to spread the news.
All right, enough jokes, Tim. This is a serious podcast. So we're seriously going to talk about a bummer of an NFC championship game. As the Eagles beat the 49ers, you were so wrong about this game.
Well, I mean,
So wrong.
I had the 49ers winning, but I wouldn't say it was so wrong. It's pretty close on that over under.
Well, no, I texted you and Jack this. It was just a bummer because it could have been I feel like it could have been a good game if Purdy doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, I think it's a great game if he doesn't get hurt. I The offense was a joke. I once challenged Shaq to a Madden game, and I said I won't throw any passes,
I,
and I'll
okay,
beat you.
this is the second time in like a couple weeks you've brought this up. And
That was actually what happened, though. They couldn't throw the ball.
yeah, and that was actually almost my open today. And then I remembered the beer die game. But it was that Brock Purdy was 4 for 4, two before he hurt his elbow and two after. Josh Johnson just not going to do it for you. What are your thoughts on the cries going around now that teams should have to carry three quarterbacks?
I don't know. You can carry whatever you want. They chose not to carry a third quarterback.
Right.
You
I
could carry 10 quarter. I just don't like what's
r-
the likelihood you get to your third quarterback and are still have a chance to win is slim.
right.
Who are
Also,
you putting in after Josh Johnson? Because he wasn't a great option.
exactly. I just think it's like you make your own bet. If you're not going to put a third guy that can throw a 7 yard out on the roster, then you risk a guy tearing his UCL and getting a concussion.
And they did have three quarterbacks. That's what got him to this position.
Yeah, no, but like you can add they're they're just saying like you should have to have three quarterbacks dressed for every game. That's what people are bitching about.
Yeah, I don't care about that because I don't. That does. If you get to that third quarterback, you're fucked anyways.
Totally. A lot of the time you get to the second quarterback, you're fucked. Look at the Dolphins.
Yeah, so I don't agree with that.
Sometimes it
I
becomes
think
Bailey
the
Zappi and your offense rolls.
I think the Niners
Or Brock
obviously
Purdy.
were in a tough spot, but the offensive play calling, knowing you don't have a quarterback, seemed bad. You can't
Right.
just run dives. I'm
Right.
sorry.
And I mean, the defensive line for the Eagles played awesome, but I think that it's changed a little bit if they have their normal offense. Because if you have Purdy throwing quick to Ayuk, Samuel,
Yeah.
McCaffrey, Kittle, you're not going to be able to just like get in a 4 point stance and go. But when it's Josh Johnson, you can just do that.
Well, even after Johnson got hurt and they went back to Purdy just to take snaps and hand the ball off, like at that point, the cat's out of the bag. Just run Wildcat. Put Debo and Juszczyk in the backfield, or Debo, Kittle, and McCaffrey taking the snap and hope for the best.
Yeah,
They
and
ran Wildcat one time. And
I
I don't know
you,
where McCaffrey was throwing it, but it seemed like somebody was wide open.
you got to think like look at a practice of like how some receivers and running backs throw the ball. Chances are some of those guys on the roster were probably quarterbacks in high school. There are
Yeah.
guys are in the NFL are athletic enough to be like, fuck it, we're down 21-7. We're out, we don't have a quarterback. Let's try to throw. Like basically in the headset or on the sideline, you say, Christian McCaffrey is going to be right here. Just throw it to him. We don't care. Like it's going to be more successful if we catch this than the fourth straight outside handoff.
I agree. I think that whatever they came up with at halftime, just maybe they thought Josh Johnson was going to do better.
Well,
But as soon
speaking
as he gets hurt, like you can't put Purdy back out there. They know he's not throwing.
right, because that's why he's not like he doesn't have a broken arm. It's obviously he can't. It's obvious he can't throw. Like you're putting him
Even when
back
he came
in.
back out there, he only threw two screens.
Yeah, he said after the game he couldn't throw it over 10 yards if he tried.
Okay, well then you could have ran some slants, drags. I don't know.
Yeah.
The offense just seemed to suck, and that
Well,
led to the Eagles being able to just tee off on everybody.
right. You got to wonder. Well, first of all, if we're just playing the hypothetical game, the game's completely different. If you challenge a play, Devontae Smith knew he didn't catch that ball. Like he ran up and gave the signal for like, let's just run the play so we can not get challenged.
Yeah.
I know it's the first drive of the game and you have an awesome defense, but think of how your team looks if you get a turnover on downs in the first drive. Plus, it completely changes the everything in the game. Different play calls. That exact scenario where his arm gets all busted up doesn't happen. I know this is obviously like hypothetical and impossible. It's just the way Smith reacted, they should have thrown a challenge flag.
Even the instant replay though, it looked like he caught it.
Except the part where the ball hit the ground and rolled around.
Yeah, but the first time they showed it, like they showed it from the sideline looking out onto the field, you couldn't see it.
Yeah, I know, and it's the first drive of the game, but you get two challenges, you lose a timeout in the first half if you get it wrong. Then you hold on to the other one for a major thing. But the thing is he would have kept it and the timeout.
And that wound up being a major thing.
Right. It changed the whole game. They scored a touchdown
That was probably Philly's biggest play of the game.
offensively. I mean,
Yeah, offensively. I mean, like,
yeah, pretty stupid to not go into halftime 14-7 and like reassess. They tried to be aggressive and then the Eagles got the ball, scored a touchdown.
yeah, that game sucked. It sucked that it was over so fast. Like even when Josh Johnson went out there, you knew like he's not moving the ball.
Yeah. I mean, I missed the whole fight at the end because right at the kind of beginning of the fourth quarter, it was dinner time, and I was like, "Well, this is over." T's and P's to Tim that he can get that over. That's what you're most
It's
upset about.
it's just how do they know? How do these people know?
Well, didn't you buy the points down? Didn't you tease
Yeah,
it?
to 39.
Was that like what they're saying, or was that did you pick 2039? I told you I don't know how teases work.
No, I picked a 7 point tease. So I took 7 points off both games
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it ended at 38.
Do you have like a wiki article on what a tease is? I understand you're buying points. I just
Nobody knows what it means. Your odds go up, or I guess they go down. No, up. The more points you buy.
him.
So that was
Fat.
plus 235, the over. So plus $235 if
Mm-hmm.
you bet 100.
Mm-hmm.
I
No, I
bought
get
seven
that.
points
I
and
just
it went
don't know.
down to minus 110, which nobody knows.
Here's my question. If you don't exactly know what's going on, maybe you shouldn't be. Should you be doing it? Because I said it's a question. Should you be doing that? Why
That was
can't
a
you?
good bet. 39 was a good bet.
The game was 38, so it wasn't. No bet is good if you lose it, Tim.
Now that
I
was a good bet
should I
because
tell you that now?
the other half hit.
What other half? The
The over
uh,
in the
oh yeah.
Chiefs Bengals game.
Yeah, so well anyways, the Eagles go to the Super Bowl first time since what, 2017 was that when that was? Block
Mm.
that one out of my mind.
The fight at the end of the game. What was that even about?
Trent Williams just threw a guy down.
Yeah, but I forget what started the whole thing. Trent
Ah,
Williams, good play. Heads up
yeah.
play at the end of the game.
You like just a rag doll toss.
And somebody, another, like, I want to say it was another wide receiver, or no, another defensive back, like ran up to Trent Williams and he looked at him like, "What are you gonna do?"
That's the thing. No one approached Trent. I think someone gave him like a slight shove, and he just like swatted their hand away, and was like, "Ah, okay."
We're not doing this.
Can
He's a
someone
monster.
can someone kick him out?
We get a
Okay,
couple 49ers over here.
so then we can move on to Rigged Gate
Oh no.
2023.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum.
So I'm in the camp that those refs just are bad at their job. What I said to you is I think the NFL is rigged. The NFL wants to see Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Oh, that whole thing is stupid. And it was legitimately those guys didn't know the rule book. And I do think it happens. I think they got caught up in the moment in the crowd because Joe Burrow was hit on the last drive, like 2 full steps after he threw the ball. Wasn't
Which
hard.
do
He
you
went
think the
down, but that was
wh-
probably roughing the
which call do you
passer.
think's the worst call of the day?
Redoing third down.
Redoing third down. Yeah. That was I was like so confused. Now, granted, I had a couple wobbly pops, brain wasn't firing on all cylinders,
Mm-hmm.
and then they
Mm-hmm.
gave him another third down, and I was like, I've watched a lot of football.
Something's
I don't know
wrong.
what I I don't know what I just saw.
Something's fishy. I was watching it happen, and I heard what the announcers were trying to say and what the ref was saying. And as it's happening, I'm like, do they mean the play that we just saw? I was like, wait, that can't be right. Like, what? Okay, yeah. Oh, because he said the same thing before the third down play. He was like, put 10 seconds back on the play clock and rewind on my go.
Yeah.
And then he said it again, and I was like, how has this happened twice in a row? And then Romo was like, oh no, they're sending the offense back out, Jim. And
He was yelling the entire game.
well, Tim, Burrowhead was loud.
Um, that ref that had to talk on the microphone,
Oh,
he was
tough draw.
he was so lost the entire time. He was kept looking at the whatever the line judge that called the play dead. Like, what do you want me to say to these
Yeah.
people?
What I have to, but luckily it was in favor of the Chiefs. Because if that was in Cincinnati, it would have been a riot.
Yeah. I still don't quite know what happened. He just called the play dead because it was so loud.
No, he called the play dead because, as per the previous play's announcement about starting the clock, they didn't wait for his signal. They just started the clock. But what was weird about it was the Chiefs were set up and ran a play. They weren't rushed.
Short of the first down.
Yep. Then there's pass interference on the redo, and they got a fresh set of downs.
All this, but the Chiefs didn't score on that drive.
No, they didn't. Um, but they got really good defensive field position.
Their punter played the game of his goddamn life.
Well, Tim, that's it's all three phases.
They did win with all three phases
Yeah.
outside of.
So the actual game was good, and then the fourth quarter was awesome. If you take the officiating out of it, the Chiefs win. Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl. I meant to look back at our pre-season predictions because something tells me I picked the Chiefs, but I can't remember. So I'll have
I
to.
picked the Chiefs and the Eagles. I have it written down in my notebook.
You picked the Chiefs and the Eagles for the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe this. You're gonna. You.
Yep, right here.
What's it say? Let me show the camera.
Chiefs and Eagles.
Who'd you really pick?
Let's get to it. Down on Green Bay.
We're waiting.
I don't think we picked NFC. I don't think we picked Super Bowl winners.
Oh, we didn't.
No,
Maybe.
because we picked the winners of the divisions, the AFC, NFC playoffs.
Well, Tim, I'll go back in the archives and do some research because we're going to do a big Super Bowl show next week. But back to this game. Mahomes doesn't have a high ankle sprain. Maybe he just rolled it. Or drugs are really good, man. Drugs are really good.
I first of all, I don't think he had a high ankle sprain, but I also don't like every time he made a good play or like a bad decision,
There's a more of a
there was a
limp.
limp, and I was just like, "You're such a bullshitter."
Mm, you never know, Tim. He could have been hurting.
But you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I can't get them. I think, to be honest, and I love the NBA, I think that's more of an NBA thing than an NFL thing.
Agreed.
I think there's or it's more of a defensive back thing, like, God, my backside. Ooh,
Ooh,
oh, calf's cramping up.
maybe a defensive end who just cost your team a chance to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. Appropriate time for your knee to buckle. But um, all that said, the Bengals didn't move the ball well. Even late in the game, they hit Chase on there were two 50-50 balls. One Chase came down with, one Higgins came down with. They weren't slicing and dicing, which we thought they would. Their line got obliterated, especially when they decided to go one-on-one on the last offensive play. Their tackle against
Frank Clark. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was bad. He didn't even put a move on him.
No, that was
He
just
just said,
strength.
"I'm faster and stronger, and I'm just gonna run right by you
Yeah.
and push you down at the same time."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I wouldn't say their offense made some plays. I mean, they converted the 3rd and 16. The Bengals had 2 chances to win the game.
Yeah.
So as much as we're gonna
But
eventually shit on,
hold on, just a housekeeping note. It was Chris Jones, not Frank Clark. Chris Jones made that play.
you sure about that?
Yeah, Chris Jones. He's good.
Frank Clark's good. He might
Yeah.
not even be on their team.
But anyways,
As much as we're about to probably shit on Osai, the Bengals should have won the game before that happened.
yeah, I
Also, the intentional grounding bullshit call.
again, that was tough because the ball did skip right to Pirine, but I don't
I
think he
think they
made it
were
back to the
saying it,
line.
but the line got pushed back.
I don't know.
It hit in front of the left guard.
Yeah, but
You
Tim,
don't even
like,
look at it, anything. You just take the play away and lost the downs, and let's move on. Now it's 3rd and 16,
well,
right?
the loss of down r- with that or without it, the the next play is going to be like third down because he threw an incompletion. The only difference is you're backing up 5 yards at that point. Like,
Yeah. Now it's 16.
yeah, P Ryan was there, but he did kind of spike it at the. It's not like it was a screen where you can just throw it at the lineman. I
Yeah, I just thought I
I agree that it was shaky, but they they also, this is the thing people love to get wrapped up in. The officiating sucked. This play, this call was bullshit and cost them the game. It's like there's 54 other minutes in the game for you to sustain drives, score points, not fuck up. So when it comes down to, Osai's, that was a penalty. That it was. Um, but the intentional grounding, just some of the bad
letting
calls
up a
by what?
letting up a 20-yard punt return. Like that's a one time in the
Kick it out of
game,
bounds.
kick it out of bounds.
Or I just kick it
It was a
so
shitty punt too.
kick it so high. Just kick it too high.
Too
I
high.
I don't get it. Just kick it higher. Or I mean, you're one of 32 people in the world doing what you're doing. A punter in the NFL. You should be able to kick it out of bounds.
Even if he kicked it out of bounds at like the 35 and gave him, decent field position,
Yeah.
like at least they
And
have to make 2 plays. They had no
again,
timeouts.
if you're going to complain about all this shit, also don't let a guy with an ankle sprain scramble for like 15 yards even before the penalty. They had they sacked Mahomes one time. He
I don't think he has an ankle sprain.
Regardless, Tim, he's definitely not himself. Like a full defensive lineman's weight rolled his ankle. So even if it's not a sprain, that hurts. I'm just saying this happens all the time where fan bases, coaches, players bitch about a loss, and it's like you're focusing on one play at the end of the game. I get it. It was like the biggest play. But what about the second quarter where you didn't do shit? What about the first quarter where you had a 3-and-out to start the game? It's
Yeah, I
just
know what you're saying. I don't blame the defensive end for the whole game because I also think if he doesn't hit him, I don't see a world in which they don't complete an 8-yard out,
right.
7-yard
And
out,
then
and
Butker
kick a
just,
field. Yeah,
yeah,
they also could have kicked a 52-yard field goal from right there.
which is not unheard of.
So, like, granted that obviously that makes it easier for him. 15 yards, you don't have to run another play, but I don't know. They had all the momentum. Who's to say uh, Valdez Scantling doesn't run a 5-yard out, get 2 yards, and step out of bounds?
Yeah. I it's
The
just
Bengals' opportunity was the drive before that. And that's it. You lost the game on that drive.
I
And
agree.
then on the ensuing punt. That's more egregious to let up a 25-yard punt return than get that 15-yard penalty because it was, I mean, he was out of bounds, but if he wasn't, I mean, the issue with it is like the push. Like if once you extend your arms, they're gonna call it.
Hmm.
Like if you just kept your arms in and been like, "Hey, I'm trying to slow down with Mahomes,"
Yeah.
but you pushed him.
You pushed him and he's gonna go. Any quarterback
Oh
feels
yeah,
that they're gonna fly. And then it's Mahomes and Arrowhead. That's where it's like.
on
But
the Chiefs sideline.
with all that said, again, it was a penalty. He was out of bounds and you shoved him.
That's what I'm saying. You extended your arms. You can't extend the arms.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got Chiefs, Eagles. Um, I honestly have no feel for the game because I don't. I heard some interesting stats that this year the Eagles have beaten Dak and Aaron Rodgers. Those are the best two quarterbacks they've beaten. So I don't know. I need a week. I need a week to digest, process, think about, pray all the on this game. And
Um, are Hardman and Smith Schuster going to be back?
I
We
don't
don't know
know.
yet.
I don't know. Lane Johnson re-injured himself. So who knows? Who knows what's happening? But we'll table this because we need content for next week. Um, and when we come back from our break, we're gonna talk some Celtics. We haven't talked much about them, and they are still the best team in the NBA. Tim, we're back, and well, I wanted to talk about the Lakers Celtics game from Saturday night because my God, it was wonderful. I mean, it was so great. At first, I thought this sucks. They're gonna lose because they played like shit. And it gets to the point where Pat Beverly gets a putback dunk on a miss when you have a chance to go up because the Lakers are only up one at that point, and it was his first dunk since the 1920 season, not the
Not
year
not
1920.
Yeah, I was like, wow, he is
Um,
spry for his age.
but then you're like, oh, okay, so they're just not going to win this. And then Jaylen Brown gets some redemption and hits a free throw to tie it up, and then hilarity ensues. What
I
what'd you think? What'd you
uh,
give me your
I
thoughts?
haven't watched a lot of LeBron. I would say in 2 years, outside
Yeah.
when he plays the Celtics,
Hmm.
because they were out of the playoffs and all that. And so, like in my mind, I was like, oh, he's not like as annoying as he used to be.
Hmm.
And then he did that, and I was like, yep, he still sucks.
I know it's a big thing now to say one of the lamest things is for guys to get technicals for reacting to a mistake by a ref. It's egregious that LeBron didn't get a technical for that temper tantrum. That that
And it went on for like 10 seconds.
Tim, do some quick math. 30 teams, 12 players a team. However many players that is, the only guy that doesn't get that technical is LeBron. And the guy who probably was like, I can't tee him up because I definitely missed it.
Was that
Sure, I get that.
400 players, roughly? Somewhere between 360 and 4.
Okay, good work. Thanks for that.
I don't know how close that is at all.
So yeah, the my guess is it would be 360 people, but uh, he throws this temper tantrum.
384.
384.
Oh, fucking genius.
Yeah, math was never my thing. But you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
so stupid.
383 players get called for a technical.
It, it was it was also obnoxious. Like I get it. You lost the game because of it.
Well, that just brought it to overtime.
Right, right.
You still
That's
had to
true.
play.
You still had 5 minutes to play, but Jaylen Brown was like, "Oh no, I'm in it now." But my thing is, win or lose, your team's still not good.
Are they
So
a bubble team?
currently, the Lakers are 13th and out of the playoffs in the West. They're 23 and 28. So that game would have made that they would be 24 and 27, still behind OKC in Portland, and still in 13th.
Yeah. They I agree. They're not good. But this goes right back to what we were just talking about in that game where you like LeBron blames everything on the last play.
Mm-hmm.
You should have just let Jaylen Brown
Lay it up.
get a
That was
why
when he
you
got that
foul?
when he got that rebound and went in for a layup, and it was like, what? I guess okay, then you can play defense and foul again. Maybe it's tied like that. All makes sense, but it's like just kick it out.
Shoot a three.
Everyone, everyone's on the floor as a 3-point shooter except Sam Hauser, who's not an NBA player.
You're
Um,
big. You're big off the house, huh?
Tim, someday when we decide to stop this because no one listens, or if we get picked up and then we're like the heroes
Oh,
of
those are the options, huh?
yeah, that's it. I want on the record how early I was out on Hauser. And when I
You were up
said
pretty
it,
wrong.
you said, yeah, people go through shooting slumps. They do. But some people just aren't good, and he's not good.
He hasn't come back out of the slump. That's been the issue.
Which brings us to our next topic. The Celtics need, a lot of teams need a guy. And at first, early in the season, I was like, oh man, they don't need a guy because Hauser turned out to be something. Well, he isn't. And I can't even think of trade targets. I can tell you the person they need, the rough size and ability. They need a guy who's about 6'8". Um, they need a guy who's a wing and can stretch the floor. Maybe anywhere 6'10" or 6'8" to 6'10", 34 years old, from Italy. They need they,
Maybe suffered a
they
minor
need
knee injury
they need Danilo Gallinari, and it's so infuriating.
because they had him.
They have him,
Well, he just can't play.
but I don't know. It's just I don't know who to target in my mind because it's not like a couple years ago when I thought we were like, oh, maybe they need a point guard. And they seem to be fine in that department. But they need a guy with some size who can shoot from the outside.
So this is the top 5 trade targets for the Celtics
Mm-hmm.
per NBC Sports. Josh Hart,
That's not quite the height I have in mind.
PJ Washington,
Oh, how tall? What's his 3-point percentage?
34.7.
Okay, okay. Don't hate it. Don't hate it. What's his height?
I don't have that information.
Okay.
I'm actually pretty shocked you knew I had the 3-point percentage. Mike Muscala,
PJ
37.3.
Washington, 6'7". Don't hate it. What'd you say is
Mike Muscala,
no, not his name. What's his 3-point percentage?
37.3.
Okay. You know what, Tim? This man is 6'11", and his salary is under $1 million. I like it. He just needs those Hauser minutes. Those Hauser minutes
Yeah.
have disappeared.
Yeah. And they just need another reliable front court guy. That's it. Not even reliable, just better than
Better
the
than
G
Sam
League
Hauser.
play, the G League player that keeps coming into the games.
There's like nothing else to say to it. It's just like, can you replace these minutes and shoot between 35 and 40%?
But what about this? Kenrich Williams. He's short, but shoots 42%.
Um,
And I've definitely made him in 2K.
I'll be honest with you, Tim. I'm gonna have to quote Shaq here. I'm sorry, I didn't know about your game. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who it is either. He's just the 5th guy. But he's shooting 42% from 3.
Yeah, I mean, they need that. They need a little girth, a little height. They need some girth and some length, and they need to have that girth and length. Shoot a three.
Just putting out shots.
Just putting up
Um,
shots.
I agree. I agree with that. I don't think they're gonna really make any moves though.
You should. I know it though. This also goes a little to uh the gum chewer, Joe Mazzulla here. Stop playing him. I know you're down smart. You were down Rob Williams against the Lakers. Let's just stop playing him.
I'm okay with that. I don't. He doesn't seem like he changes anything.
Nothing.
He's just like, you know what? This worked. We're gonna keep doing it. It's gonna keep working eventually over time.
The game on Martin Luther King Day when Tatum scored 51, he hit a shot and Grandy and Eddie House, I believe, were on the call. Said, you like to see it. You like to see a shooter get one, see the first one go in. That applies to Ray Allen when he had like two bad games. Steph Curry, if
Not,
he like weirdly shoots like 2 for 9 from three, it's like, okay, he saw the first one go in the next night. He ends up scoring 38. That's not Sam Hauser. He's not that level of shooter.
no, he was hot in the beginning because there wasn't enough film on him, and then teams watched film on him and they
Instead,
rush him.
instead, let him
And
shoot because he can't hit it.
yeah,
Um,
why doesn't he call all his timeouts? Any timeouts?
Tim, the most egregious thing. I know he's a rookie coach, and I know,
He's got seven of them. Somebody next to him should sit next to him and be like, "Hey, coach, you still have six."
and you're gonna lose one if you don't call it before the 3 minutes. And you should probably scale back playing our MVP candidate. I'm not saying ours like I'm on the team. I'm playing that coach
Yeah, no, I understood.
because that bothers me.
Yeah, we.
But Jason Tatum shouldn't lead the league in minutes. What's how many how many wins do they have, Tim? They have 36 wins. They're 6 wins away from finishing the season above 500. They're fine. I need to see some. Jason Tatum woke up with a sore back days.
Oh, I don't like that.
Oh, really, Tim? Do you want him to just keep gutting it out against the Hornets on a Monday afternoon, playing the whole game? I mean, he scored 51 points, so maybe that's a bad example.
Yeah, that was a
But
weird route to go with that.
I don't know.
Back to
Against the
backs
Hornets on
against
Friday,
the
February
Magic.
10th, can we maybe play him 27 minutes? Just be like, if we beat the Hornets, great. If we're not, whatever. I I just don't need him to play as much as he is. That's just me. I know we have 8 games before the All-Star break. Let's cut it back. Let's ease him into the All-Star break. And don't play him in the fucking All-Star game too much. Missoula's a coach.
He's the coach of the All Star.
Yeah, it's him and I think Steve Kerr. Or no, it'd be
He
him
understands
and
he's going to have to call timeouts and that
Malone.
to make substitutions and such.
Well, Giannis will be his real coach. I think. I think that's how that works. But one last thing before we get to your food question. What do you think of I don't care about the All-Star game and I won't watch it and I don't have an opinion on this, but as a guy who likes to see people in awkward situations, you like to see people you'll sit by as like there's an argument in a bar and you'll be like, "Oh, maybe they'll throw a punch." You're not ashamed of sitting across the bar watching that.
I'm not.
What are your thoughts on them picking the teams live right before the game?
I
That's
kind
how
of
they're
like it.
doing it this year.
Kind of like that.
Are you going to watch?
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I don't even know when it is.
I
But
have.
I'm not going to have like be off of work. I'm not
Mm,
going to stay up till 9:30 when they pick this team.
yeah.
The 3-point contest I think last year started at 10 p.m. Who's watching that? Not me.
Not me. Uh, I think Pro Bowls and All-Star games and all that stuff, make it a weekend. Don't play a game. Do all the
Skills
special
challenge.
stuff, skills
Yeah.
challenge, all that. home run derby. I'm excited to see what this Pro Bowl thing is. I don't care
It's
about
a
the
flag
flag.
football game, right?
Yeah, but aren't they bringing like the skills back? Like, aren't they going full force with the skills competitions and stuff? That's fun.
That is
Like
fun.
those old early 2000s QB skills competitions were fun to watch.
I agree. And the
So,
old Madden used to play the same games.
what?
In the old Madden when they had the skills challenge,
Oh, sure, yeah.
coffin
But
corner punter.
I just think it should be like a notation like Jason Tatum was an all-star this year. Move on. I
I
don't
don't
think it.
understand the game is dumb because it's 100. It doesn't mean anything,
No,
and
I think they
it's
started giving the winning team money though. More money. You get like an all-star bonus, but
but
so
like
that's why
the
they try
MLB
a
All
little
Star
harder.
game matters, and it shouldn't.
It doesn't. It hasn't for like 5 years.
Oh, really? I thought it chose home field.
No, they
I've
stopped
been
that
telling
because
everybody.
who have you had a conversation about that with?
People. Pretty much every single time it comes up.
Well, you've been misinformed. Luckily, you're not on the baseball show. I am a sucker for baseball, so I actually don't hate the All-Star game for baseball.
It really doesn't matter anymore.
No, no, that's been now the
Well,
team with the best record hosts the World Series.
that makes
Whoever
way more sense.
whoever of the two teams has the better record.
That's a better way to do it.
That's yeah, that's the way it's done by everyone except the Super Bowl, which is neutral. All right. What you didn't warn me about the food question, so
All right, you better get a pen out.
okay.
You didn't get a pen out.
I don't have a pen near me.
Um, we're going top gummy candies.
Okay. 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 Hold on. Okay.
All right. Number one or number five. I know you like to count down.
How do you do this every time? Oh, let's
I'm
reveal
gonna.
our number one and then tell what all the runner ups are. Runner ups?
You know, you nailed it. I'm gonna go with colored Twizzlers, the
Okay.
rainbow Twizzlers.
Okay.
Uh, they're all the same flavor, but they're good.
Okay.
Purple Skittles, number four.
Oh, so Skittles are on this.
It's a
Skittles are
gummy. It's a
on.
gummy candy.
Okay. Okay. I'm just. All right.
Any candy that's not chocolate
Mm-hmm.
is a
Okay.
gummy candy.
Oh, not true. Skittles are hard sugar. They're not gummy.
Yeah, they're gummy candy.
Okay. We're gonna have to have people weigh in. Don't worry, Sap is going to text me. He texts me all the time. He texted me last week, no lobster roll question mark. And I was like, oh yeah, not a big lobster fan.
I don't
And
like
he goes,
lobster either.
you said the only other thing I can think of is watermelon. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I gotta be honest with you, Sap. I don't want to sound like an asshole here, but I don't like watermelon either. He thinks something's wrong with me. We'll have to bring
I'm
that
not a
up
big
at the
fruit
wedding.
guy. Not a fruit guy.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. All right, so what's three?
Smurfs, Haribo
Smurfs?
Smurfs. You ever had a Haribo Smurf?
Yeah, I have.
They're phenomenal.
Do they have the white thing on the back, like the sharks?
No, I'm not one of those people.
Okay.
No, those people are weird. Kate's one of those people.
Oh my God, she would be,
Uh, Number two, obviously sour straws.
obviously. And do we even have to bring up number one with you?
Do
Let
you
me
think you
guess.
know what?
Haribo gummy bears, original style.
Yeah, that's it. The
Okay.
clear one. I don't know what flavor it is. People try to tell me it's
Pineapple.
pine. It's not. It's not.
Okay. All
I've eaten
right.
a lot of pineapples and I've eaten a lot of gummy bears.
So number five for me. Well, I'm doing this off the top of my head. I was not given the time to prepare. So five for me
You want me to
is
start putting it in the rundown?
yes, I would.
All right, let me take a look at what the rundown was this week.
Five for me is going to be sour watermelon. Now I know what you're thinking. I know
God,
what you're thinking. You just said you don't like watermelon, Tom. I did say
not what
that.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's terrible.
Number two,
Four.
any other. No, no, I'm just saying about this watermelon choice. I don't like actual watermelon, and I don't like other flavored watermelon flavors, like watermelon Jolly Rancher. Get out of here. Oh, that's
That's
also
terrible.
not chocolate. So is that gummy? Um, but
That's a
based
gummy.
using your
It's a
logic,
gummy.
this is the stupidest thing ever. Okay, now I got to do four.
Yeah. Jolly Ranchers fall into the gummy category.
I'm gonna say gummy worms. You know what I like about a gummy worm, Tim? You can put them in, cake stuff,
Pud-
and it's
Pudding.
good. It's
I think
great.
that's what's that called? Dirt,
Trifle.
dirt, dirt cups.
I think it's actually called trifle. Oh God, I feel like this isn't good podcasting because I wasn't prepared. So number three,
You asked me for my list. I came prepared.
you are in charge of the food questions, and you didn't tell me. Gummy candies. Gummy. Gummy candies. I'm gonna
Would it make it
say
easier for you if I said non-chocolate candy?
no, because
Top
that
five non-chocolate candies?
Tim, no, that's
Guess what? You're picking all gummies anyway.
oh, you know what? You know what I'm gonna say for number three? I'm gonna take us back to the 90s, Tim.
I was
Airheads.
around. I fuck with airheads.
Airheads. I eat two airheads. I feel like shit, but I enjoy them while I'm eating them.
Man,
White
they are good.
mystery. No one knows
I,
what it is.
but it's coming out of the same building as that clear Haribo.
All right, number
Do you know they have new airhead flavors?
I didn't. I'll have to investigate that. Um, Number two is the best actual gummy, like actual gummy candy you can get, and that's a strawberry. Gummy strawberries are better than Haribo gummy bears, and that's a fact. And then number one, using your
That's
logic,
offensive.
it's not offensive, and
But I do
I hope you're
respect.
triggered by it. And then
Um,
finally, since we're just saying whatever, as long as it's not a Reese's cup, is candy or is counts as a gummy. Unassailable number one is original Starburst.
I. What are you saying a Starburst is if it's not gummy?
Tim, a gummy is
Should
uh,
I have broken down what I meant by gummy?
no. So like sour straws, sour like Nerds Rope, I would even consider, even though it has the crunchies. Actually,
I like
I'm gonna put Nerds Rope at three instead of Airheads. So my list stays the same. I'm just swapping out that.
Airheads and Starburst are made of the same material.
I don't care. I'm saying Nerds Rope. Your logic doesn't make sense. And for the listener, I've been having to deal with this for the last 20 or 32 years. I guess, yeah,
I'm
32.
I'm 31.
You're pushing. Yeah. Well, like fingers crossed you
Just
make it to
turned.
32. Um, I think
Changed
this
my
is what I've
lifestyle.
dealt with. The logic just isn't there. He had a hard candy on his favorite gummy.
Nobody in their right mind is saying Skittles are a hard candy.
I'm not saying they're a hard candy like Jolly Rancher, which you also said was on this list. You
I didn't put
you're
Jolly Ranchers on my list. I just said I would count them.
you're the thing is you're not deciphering like savory, chocolatey sweet candy, fruity sweet candy, and gummy. There's three here.
That's two. No, there's only two.
Yeah,
It's
no.
chocolate or it's everything else.
This is this is asinine. So what's a payday?
It's chocolate candy.
It has no chocolate.
Yeah, but it has to say it's a chocolate bar.
This is absurd.
Where would you put Starburst?
I
What
would put
categories?
I would put them in the fruity candy. Tim, when you say gummy, every other American thinks gummy bears, gummy worms, Nerds Rope.
I can't hold on. The third thing that every other American is thinking about is not Nerds Rope. People don't eat Nerds Ropes like that.
Well, no, I'm saying the category. Gummy bears, gummy worms, Nerds
Smurfs.
Rope, Smurfs, cherries, sharks, Swedish fish,
I do like cherries too.
Scandinavian swimmers. That's what people
It's a made up candy.
no. Trader Joe's can't be like, hey, these are our Swedish fish. These are Scandinavian swimmers. And Tim, go to Trader Joe's. Next time Kate goes to Trader Joe's, tell her to get Scandinavian swimmers. They're on top of the frozen section, up there.
That bin is of them is just aggressively big.
So you do know what they are.
I just now that you're saying like Trader Joe's Swedish Fish, I don't know what the name is.
Scandinavian swimmers. Anyways, I mean, you didn't lobsters. You know what, Tim? You've done nothing but embarrass yourself. You have let down everyone in the gummy community. I mean, I
Gummies were
didn't
my
hold on,
top three things. Four out of my five. I mean, all of a sudden the Skittles a hard candy. I don't even know.
Tim.
I don't even know you,
Can I bring a cannabis gummy into this equation, or are we too high class?
Tom. This is a kid show.
Actually, I checked not made for kids on YouTube. That's going to do it for this episode. Tim, I'll talk to you later. And I can't wait I am so excited to get the feedback on you having Skittles on your gummy candy. I'm gonna go tell Allie, and I'm gonna tell her to
I'm gonna
text
tell
you.
Kate. I'm gonna
I'm gonna
wake her up.
I'm gonna tell her to text you her thoughts.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Tim.